Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. I hope this finds you well. Just gonna check that I'm actually live streaming, but if I am, welcome to this evening. It's 10:30. I didn't announce anyone that didn't even know myself. Come at the end of the day, I sit here and I think, wouldn't it be cool to share with my friends what I have been up to? Uh, what I've been up to, roaming Facebook Marketplace, basically. Yes. Then when I see stuff, you're like, wow, I need to get this. Do I need it? No. Do I know if it's good? No, I do not. But it's such an opportunity. The 12 string, I always wanted to have a 12 string. There are so many songs that I like that are recorded on 12 strings, like More Than a Feeling. Don't know how to play it? No, but I told the guy that I was gonna like record it. Yes, record it. Yeah, great, record it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I never quickly facing all the problems that people probably have with offstring being hard to keep them in. But I'll show you. So, a while back I had bought this guitar. This is a Discovery that has nice pattern. This is all laminate back and sides. I think it's a solid spruce top, and this is how it sounds. Or right? Or even the very common chord progression of G, E, C, like last case the oh where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. Or the Portuguese Dunas. Dunas são como divas, víamos indiscreto do alcatrão sujo, rasgadas por catos hortelãs. And why you wonder? So this is like an OM shape, but without the pick guard, which I think it's cool. Rosewood fretboard, I think, although it's very light, has like these black tips that are a bit naff, but Englewood, affordable guitar. Bought it. It was posted for £60. I asked, "Can I pay you 50?" Yeah, and the wife was like, "Yes," and then the guy was like, "Yeah." Actually, like, and he was poor guy. And I've written a few songs on these guitars, so great songwriting. So something like that. So it's nice. But I wanted to play you this because now you have context for the 12 string. 12 string has plotted headstock, which like it's a vintage branded guitar. It's also an OM shape, but with a cutaway, because you know on OM you really need to be up here doing like plum. Right? But regardless of that, it's cool. This is how it sounds. So let's do the G to E minor. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I have to be good, so I can see my brother when I leave this world. We're out in a date in my daddy's car. We hadn't driven very far. There in the road, straight ahead, a car was told the engine was there. I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound of that night. Screaming tires, the broken glass, the painful scream that I heard last. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's got a heaven, have to be good so I can see my baby when I leave this world. So there's, I don't know if it's a few strings that I'm just not used to, but they sound like C. Sounds very out of tune. It's very odd. Then with the G in the bass, I don't know. I do realize that the 12 string is more of a pick guitar, is not so much like I'm playing, so maybe it's that. I think it's this one, but it's hard to tune. So I was trying to do like a loop with the 12 string, and it's it's like, no, there's something in it that I can't quite find. Let me try to tune with this very accurate guitar. No, it's, this is a B. It sounds different, right? Ah, wait. It shouldn't be a B. This should be a D. No, so if I'm trying to tune this one and detuning all the other ones that I need. Thank you. You see why you guys are so useful? Because I was here, I was able now to find thing. You might be wondering, like, why don't you? I've called these streams body doubling, and it's true. There are things that I can't quite do by myself. But I can when I have other people looking and watching. That sounded a bit voyeuristic, this. Ah! So let's try this again. I am very good, very professional, very, very professional. Very good, very professional. Very good, very professional. Oh no. It's behind me because I don't like seeing. So, now, I'll have tuning guitars live. This is very out of tune. Okay, so, acoustic guitar. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I have to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. Now, 12 string. We're out on a date in my daddy's car. We hadn't driven very far. There in the road, car was there, the engine was there. I couldn't stop, so I started to ride. I'll never forget the sound of that night. The screaming tires, the breaking glass, the painful scream that I lost. And this guitar is louder. It's not just perceived loudness. It is louder that the microphone is going into the yellow from the loudness. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I have to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. So, or been bad up and bad around, been set up and I've been shut down. Not a girlfriend that I've ever found. Handle me with care. Or let me just check it out. So handle me with care, because it's a 12-string song, I think, by the Wilburys, Traveling Wilburys, right? With George Harrison and a bunch of. Uh, that's it. So let's just check. So if it's just with a normal acoustic guitar, it goes. No. Been beat up and bad around, been set up and I've been shut down. You're the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. And then you change guitars. This is like what I should record. I should record the video and I do this, but I don't want to. I don't like recording and then editing. So I just do lives now. Reputation changeable, situations tolerable. Baby, you're adorable. Handle me with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream on. Been fobbed off and I've been fooled. I've been robbed and ridiculed. Daycare centers and in night schools. Handle me with care. I probably should practice to do these songs properly. Haven't done in a while, and this 12 strings still is a bit different, from. But yeah, so £50. The guy just asked for £50. I didn't haggle. I don't have it in me to haggle when the price is that good. And this was £50. So I have an acoustic and two acoustic guitars, one the 12 string, and one the normal. For £100. I feel very proud of this. They're like, oh yes, but they're not as good as nice guitars, and it's true. Acoustics, money that you put into it, you get out of it, right? In terms of quality, usually, unless you go for like a Martin DX or something, one is even amplified. So I'm thinking that could be 12 string could be a good tool to take to the open mics and jams, because sometimes people already have acoustics and already bring an acoustic, well, like a normal the silent guitar that I have, but this could do something else, like texture for the sounds. I've been really into stereophonics recently, I want to oppose this if no one said not to not play stereophonics. I will probably now play some. It's up to you. Or if you have any requests of songs that like me or try and attempt, by all means. Um so um phonics, they're not really a 12 string sort of band songs, but I'm just trying stuff out. It can be a bit annoying, uh, the sound of the 12 string, so like chorus, right? Too much. But there's a song that it's from the guy that about the situation of the guy about the other acoustic from that was playing on the acoustic, on the regular acoustic. I can do that because it's an original and people can still. No, it's registered everywhere. Life's a path that you make yourself. There are guidelines for heaven and hell. But when I try to succeed, I feel the pull of my wicked deeds. How does that sound with it? I don't want to make an excuse for my temporary abuse. Please try and understand. It ain't easy, I am only a man. Life comes and goes so fast. One day you're here, the next you're a past. Life comes and goes so fast. One day you're here, the next you're past. I also just want to thank the guy that sold me this guitar because another guy coming in, he chose to sell it to me. I decided I was going to try to record it, and this counts as recording, I guess. And it came with Power Ranger stickers, and I was gonna take them off, but it's like, I don't like Power Rangers. It's fine. And I think these are like the 90s Power Rangers, which are my Power. Yeah, like now I have here in the office the bass, a baritone, Bassmaster, 90 humbucker that fits. This one, but it's like the Strat thingy. I put more Stratty pickups, and acoustic and the 12 string, and I also have the nylon string and the acoustic silent guitar. So it's a studio, proper studio where I can make songs. Now I just need know-how of a producer here and the talent. Other than that, the song making, have a hat I can, because I think that the hat is. A way to promote my bag. I look hipster in it. Yes, you know, guys. This is a brand culture. I was I was modding this. It only took me a full day to get this pick up because the routing that they do, single coil routing underneath the pickguard. This is a proper hard bake like pickguard. It's good, but it's hard to maneuver. So you have to take the neck and everything here is super tight. The neck is super tight. The holes are super tight. The cuts are super clean. Everything is like aero engineering tight. These holes mega. Uh, and then, but the wiring itself is not very tight. But they have a hole, a small hole here, and then another small hole here, and then another small hole there. So pushing the cables from here, from this cavity here, very annoying, very unnecessary. I always wanted to be off team or something. There was that. Guys, I hope ever looking at the 12 string, you consider it. I don't know if I'm now. It makes more sense why the tracking and the looping was off, because I had a string tuned to B instead of string tuned to D. The fourth, it's not the fourth, it's the so there you go. That was all that I wanted to share with you. Unless anyone has any questions or requests for songs. Sorry, your audio is all sorts of jacked. Can't hear a thing. Boost the mic. Oh dear. Can you hear me now? But it's showing here audio capture device thing should be working. Maybe if I put it more like this. Is this better? Is this worse? Oh no, what have I been doing for the last God knows how long? It's so quiet. Oh meu Deus! Oh my god, this was terrible. This was very poor. Still too quiet. The mic is quiet. Let me see. I'll just put the boost on the audio capture at 1. But is it still quiet? Try to hear back to it as well, or let me know. Is it better now? Is it better? Okay, I'm gonna assume it's better. I am on a computer, so the sound that comes out on a computer is different from like a tablet or a device or something like that. I'm gonna take this hat off because now I look like a douche that's trying to pretend that knows what he's doing and can't even get the levels right. But on OBS, it's like it's going to the red now. Still quiet. Where are you listening in? Oh, in what device, Gabe? Just to see if I can understand. Yeah, do you like the hat, Steve? So we have the no hat, no hair. The hat is actually too small for me. It's a 57, and I am big-headed, as everyone can tell. It should be smaller, so we can do it like this, right? So I have no excuse. If you're listening through studio monitors on a PC, that's exactly, you have the most range to be able to listen. Yeah, I don't know, the mic input on the sound interface sometimes is going to the red because it's at 2 on the knob, almost 3, and on OBS audio capture is at 0, and it's going as well to the red. So OBS, maybe it's OBS, maybe it's like I need to check a setting somewhere that will make, now it doesn't work, that will like be more compatible with YouTube and give better audio feed to YouTube. I need to look into that. Steve, would you like to hear the 12 string? By the way, while I'm here and I have you guys, I have an audience of 2. Thank you, Gabe and Steve. Yeah. If you open like a normal video, you'll probably hear like, wow, I was really maxing the speakers here. I have noticed that. With streams particular, I don't know. I really don't know. Something for future reference. Definitely, I will look into it. Let me just see. Audio. Monitoring the file. No. Decay rate. No, this is something else. I'll need to check at a later date. Audio encoder AAC. It's the only one that gives me as well. Ooh. Okay. Regardless, now it's decent. So, acoustic, 12-string acoustic guitar, electroacoustic, slightly thinner than the other acoustic that I got here, right? And with slotted headstock, which I like. £50, as I said before. Not blaming the guy sold it for what he wanted. I didn't even haggle. It has some arcs. It needed a bit of adjustment on the truss rod, and the truss rod worked, which is great. It's like it was a budget offer from Vintage, and it's like glossy and it's laminate back and sides, which I do prefer for live performance. And you can get like this nice figure here, and it's a solid spruce top, and it's sort of the OM shape with a cutaway for all the. So. Should I try that one? But honestly, by the Foo Fighters, I was trying to have the mic like sort of middle between me and the guitar. Can you hear the guitar though, or is it too quiet as well? And you can just hear me screaming, not screaming, singing perfectly in tune, but way more than the guitar. And this is why broadcast. Yeah. So. The ratio with guitars was fine. Thank you, Gabe. I tried recording or looping before, and it was getting it wrong because I had a string, this string here, to this string. It was a B instead of a D, so it sounded very strange. Obviously, because the doubled D was not doubled, was a B, which was in key, but which meant that when I was doing a D, it was wrong, very wrong. So yeah, so I think I could add something else to a song, probably not all of it, but so this is. "12-string Foo Fighters. Where you off to with that head of yours? Is there somewhere you should be? Was it something that I said the time I held you down? I told you it's not you, it's only me. Maybe don't take what I don't need. Don't say what I don't mean. Nowhere to silence me. You'll see. And so we have a reference with the normal 6-string acoustic. This is how that sounds. The next verse. What you up to now? Your mirror's gone. Is there someone you should be? Did you think I was just fooling around with you? But honestly, you see, don't take what I don't need. No, this is. No way, what I don't mean. No way from me. You see, it is much quieter, isn't it? It is much quieter. I did think that. I think, I don't know if it's just the more strings that make it resonate more, but it is quieter. I thought that. The meter was showing that here, but I couldn't tell how much you could tell it over. It's more hot. Let's see if it changes. Oh yeah! And tonight, I thank the stars as I count my lucky. No. And tonight I thank the stars as I count my lucky scars for everything you've given me. That was horrible. Please never let's do that again. The words I gave to you, something borrowed, something blue. If you want them back, I'll give them to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna be a hat wearing 12 string slinger now. And just play songs that don't need 12 strings on 12 strings. This is gonna be my whole personality now. Hats and unnecessarily complicated guitars to set up live. I don't think live this is good unless it's for, like, as I said, jams and stuff. It's perfect, but for actual gigs, I don't know. So Gabe's saying here that the acoustic that he paid, he got for £70. It's a 50-year-old German dreadnought that sounds like a mofo. Sounds so good. Is it like there's some framers from that time. There are some really good, like there is sometimes some Japanese ones. As long as they have a truss rod to adjust, it's fine. As I say, obviously there are brands that can give you really good acoustics. Like I like Art and Luthery, which is the group, the Godan group and Siegel group. I think their guitars are really cool. And they look cool. Arnold Hoyer, never heard, but you know, there's loads of guitar brands that make good guitars, right? Arnold Hoyer. Let me just Google that because I'm curious. I just saw an ad for like Victor guitars. It's like, all right. Is it it's an arch top or just a? I know there's also like Dreadnought. You said Dreadnought. Never mind. I'm being idiot. All right. Wire. Very cool. There's a metal bridge and the brake angle plate on the headstock. Right. I was looking at a few. There's a few like arch tops on. I see what you mean. There's one here. I can't. Can I share it? Probably I can. Let's see if I don't share complete details of something of mine. Is this it? Sharing. I'm sharing. Whoop. No, I'm not sharing anymore. I'm sharing my tabs now. But I'm not sharing. I can, and therefore I can see my comments, which is annoying bit. So okay. Not that. That's 1970. So it's even old. No, no. This is 1970 is yours. 50 years. Yes, 50 years was until 59. I'm from 92, therefore 50 years was definitely from 59. Everyone knows 2009, 59. That's when I was in school, and therefore it's always going to be the case. Um, so it's nothing like this. Probably. I was trying to see. Yeah, no, nothing like this. Never mind. Still, if it's anything to do with these prices, not a bad catch for £70. Obviously, reverb is always slightly different. This was the first thing that I thought that was similar to that, because it has the dreadnought sort of shape. Till 1970s. I think this is closer. Would you say something like this? That's it. Now you see. You see, the thing is, oh, it has the plate here, so it's not like a Martin, right? But if Martin came and said, oh, this is an upgrade to enhance the tone, right? Get better tone because it's metal on wood, which is what electric guitars use, right? And here you get less of a break angle, so the strings are actually going smoother through the nut. Everyone will be like, yes, except the people that, epa, this guitar has had a life. I don't know if this is cracks on the wood or just cracks on the lacquer. So Gabe is saying here that he played it against a Martin, and funny you say that because it's held its own, not much between the two. In fact, it's shocking. Yeah, is it also a bolt-on, which is it's a design. It's not better or worse a lot of the times. Sometimes it's better because there's more adjustability. I think the thing with guitar brands and such is it gives the person that has the guitar a sense of accomplishment. I have a Martin. Like, I want to have Martin Trebolo, Eric Clapton, or John Mayer, because that's two guitarists that I really like. No. Hey, Peter. It's late to the party because it's late in the day. Why am I streaming on a Tuesday at 11 p.m? You might be wondering. Because I am under new medication that gives me all the zoomies at around this time of the day. Hard to sleep. So I just wanted some company. So thank you everyone for obliging me. That's it. Layla. I don't know. I can't play and sing. Can I? Layla. You got me on my knees, Layla. You got me begging, please, Layla. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? It's a... on and on. Yeah, so I think a lot of the times brands, if you were to a guitar shop that had multiple brands, because what ends up happening when you go into a guitar shop is that they carry a couple of brands because they're retailers for a couple of brands. They don't have all the brands in the world, unless you go to somewhere that has a very good used selection, and then you can compare A to B. There's a lot of these, like Tanglewood. My idea was Tanglewood is cheap crap. I'm just gonna put it out there. I bought an Eastman because it's all solid guitars. Uh, and But then I sold the Eastman because I bought the Yamaha silent guitars that I have in these tiny bags here that are great for gigging and everything, but they're not couch guitars, or you cannot really take them out and play anytime. And I like the acoustic vibration of having a body. And the fact is, this guitar that was £50, and even if it was new, I think it was like £100 or something like that. I have written songs with it, which I haven't with other guitars, which I don't with many other guitars, like the electric guitars. It's harder for me. This one, I think it's so loud and so, and even if you look at it, I don't know. I'm gonna put just on the other, just on here. Not only is the back what it is, even the neck. You see that it has like almost like a flame to it. And this guitar, again, not expensive new. It was like £300 or 200 and something pounds. Probably can still find it floating around for £200 or something like that. Yes, it was a great deal, and I'm really happy. I never like. I don't like haggling people down from where I find it's already a good price. The guy was already giving the people in the area a good deal, so I was like, whatever. This is what you ask. This is what I'm gonna pay. And I don't like as well as when people go and almost insult the seller, like, oh, look at that chump, selling it for such a low price, because I think it's just rude. But I'm happy that I'm able to have gotten this guitar, because I probably wouldn't go out of my way to buy a 12 string, like you were saying, right, Gabe? It's like, you all known someone that has taken a 12 string to like an open mic or something, and they just played the whole set with a 12 string, or maybe that was just my experience personally. It's like, yes, one song, two songs tops, spread throughout a set with other instruments. Like, not what I'm doing here. I'm just bombarding you with 12 strings now. But I like the comparison. But in a performance environment, it can be, yes, exactly, like the 12 string isn't the foundation, it's the sizzle on top. And I'm breaking my camera is having a bit of a moment here. Yeah, I think it could work well in a band context, right? A little bit here, a bit of finger picking and stuff, like the, yeah. I need to finger pick this. But then have the other instruments. If it's just 12 string, it can become very tiring. Again, like I said before, a bit like chorus effect. But yeah, I think it's cool. So if you do see, go look on Facebook Marketplace. If you see someone locally selling a 12 string, even if it's a vintage or Tanglewood or an old Arnold Hoyer or Framus or Kramer or Kramper, I don't know, there's sometimes brands that, or Honor, right? Or it's a Fender, which we know are affordable guitars. But they often are made to a standard, not a great standard, but a standard nonetheless. It's probably not going to be as nice as a very nice Gibson or a very nice Martin. Because, again, the thing with Martins and Gibsons and some of these brands, for example, I never tried a bad Larrivee, but Larrivee doesn't make cheaper guitars. But Martin and Gibson and Fender, obviously, they make a lot of cheaper acoustics. But I'm just going to focus on the Martin and Gibson because they have good, very good acoustics, right? They have these 500 to 1,000 pounds guitars that are made, some in Mexico, some in lower cost America, and they are so fast out of the press sort of thing, and with strange materials to cut costs, that I've tried, and it's like, no, this is it's nothing. It's neither. It's just to have the brand on the headstock, say Martin there. But like Gaby's saying, I don't go after brands anymore. It means nothing to me. And that's the spirit. I think that's something that we should strive towards, because at the end of the day, uh, brands are money making things. It's rare that the brands really means quality. Those occasions are rare. I think like Eastman is a case of that, although they've had there's some ups and downs. Um, I think, for example, Maybach, the electric guitars as well, um, are like there are some brands that are very specific in what they do, and they you can be, even stuttering. There's a correlation with quality, but it's rare and rare. Gabe is continuing to say that he bought a Jet Telecaster a few months ago. Steve Cassidy, you probably know him from all the Jet videos. New, modded it with a fret polish. It felt as good as my Fender. I had the facelift Finica ST something something, which was the Jet JS 400, and under a different name. Roasted maple neck, right? Frets and the body and everything. It's very good. It's genuinely very good. I'm considering getting a I'm considering getting a Jet, but I'm not really considering getting a Jet because despite this wall, so in this room there is 5, 7, 8, 9 instruments, and then I have 2 more, 3 more. So it's already too many guitars. I can't have more guitars. This was already too many. But that's it. Like the necks on the Jets are so good that is like, I really want to have it like more. I have I don't know what I'm doing with the neck on the Faisley that I took apart because the body I tried to relic it and everything. Now I have these. I put the pickups that I had put on my Jet. I put on here because this Share Gold Masquerader comes with the SSL6 single coils, which are very dark and hotter. And I prefer the SSL ones that I had on my Strat like guitar, so I just took it from the kit and I put it here. And it has a TV6, so it's more of my Strat, and I already have a Fret King. That's it. I have a Fret King and a Eastman out there, and then a bit. So, and this has a rosewood neck, but it's heavy. This is heavy. But what Gabe has done here is, you're a man after my own heart of modding guitars, which I really like, because it, like, okay, Jet doesn't want to go after the mid market and put really expensive stuff, so they give us the perfect modding platform where you can put whatever you want, more affordable, a bit higher grades, whatever, and they don't have to compromise at the price point that then people will end up changing the pickups regardless in electronics. So if the bodies look cool and the necks are as good as they are regarding to shape, we're laughing. So you put some Twisted Tally Fender Custom Shop pickups in mine. Brass saddles made an enormous difference to it as well, and for less than a Fender player, even the first, like a used Fender player probably, depending on the Jet that you got, because it could be, I don't know if it was it the 300, the 350, the JT, or they have higher ones now. But yeah, I do like the look of the Elite Strat that they have. It's like a Mocha Burst, lowest model. Smart. It's like, I don't care about the fancy stuff. I'm just gonna go for 130. You couldn't probably buy a finished neck and body that were matched to each other. Ah, so he bought it in Germany, so the price was less than in the UK. I haven't gone to Germany ever. I should go just to have a shop at guitars. Is that something that is recommended? I don't know. What I'm dreading is when I have to change strings on these. It's going to be all, but it's 2 guitars. At the end of the day, changing the strings on 2 guitars. So these pins here on 2 acoustic guitars. So yeah, um, modding guitars and stuff. That's the problem with the acoustic guitars, that you can't really mod it. I know that you can get like a passive preamp or an active preamp to put on the floor. I think there should be more guitars that have just like bare electronics of the piezo pickup on the acoustic, and then you can just plug into a more modern preamp, because this currently has a shadow preamp stuff like this, and I don't know if you can like just replace it because there's some crackling. It's two wires as well, which confuses me because I know two wires, one for the piezo and one for the headphone out, like to go to the. So back to modding. So Gabe was saying, that he made it into a four-way selector as well. When I run it in series, it's fat. Yes, like the Baja Tele. I had a Telecaster. Ah, it was the Fret King. Was it? I think so. I had a Fret King that basically turns the two pickups into a humbucker, so it makes it punchy. I think it's a no-brainer really to have that as an option, because it adds more to the guitar without taking anything away. I don't know. I don't think there is any sort of, yeah, like a humbucker. Anything against it. It's not like having an effects return on an amp. Not to understand what that means really, but that's what I keep hearing people say. It's like, oh, if you have an effects loop in an amp, it takes away from the whole. So I'm repeating what the internet says. I was walking, but to go here. The cutaway does make sense. Um, so speaking of versatility, I have sort of a policy here of not having repeated shapes and stuff. So this wall, well, although not repeated shapes, and I have two offsets, but the telly is shape is taken by the baritone, the East Coast baritone. This one. This Mean Green Machine is a kit guitar that I built, and then I put Epiphone humbuckers from AliExpress with electronics, and it has the two switches, so it has the split neck and bridge. So normal freeway switch, and then neck and bridge. It has its defects, like I hit it with a garage door there, and I couldn't be bothered to fix it. The binding is not perfect, and I did create a port, which I think every guitar like this should have ports. I don't know. I don't care what people are like. Oh, it's going to explode. This guitar is like a year old now almost, and it hasn't exploded. It's fine. The laminate can hold the structure integrity of the SV35 with the center block. If I ever go again on one of these, I'm gonna get a proper port, and I'm gonna cut it properly, and I'm gonna install it nicely, because this just makes it so much easier. I changed electronics 3 or 4 times on it, and it was such a breeze to do it. The only thing that I don't like is when you look through it, you can sometimes see the back of the way that I had to get the port in it. but it's such a detractor, especially on cheaper guitars, right? You buy like a vintage VS 500 or VS 550, which is like the Foo Fighters one, um, or an Epiphone or something. You buy it, and then you need to you need to change the pickups or the electronics. Most people don't know. You can learn how to do it with tubing and fishing, and Staley is here, and Peter and Steve that watch Jim from Audiomo, and they told me you should just learn how to do it properly. It's true, I should just learn how to do it properly. But I don't want to. I don't have time, I don't have bandwidth to learn another thing and to go buy all the tools that I need to change electronics on a semi-hollow. I like semi-hollows, I don't like that they are so hard to work on. So the Gibson ES330 already has a port before. This only has 2 screws. You really don't need more than that. Is this done beautifully? No, but this was the first kit guitar that I did. Even the stripes, because when I was painting, I painted it wrong. But it's shiny, and the front is not too bad. And on stage, who's to say? And it is not olive green, which was the color that I want. And it's not British Racing Green, which is also a color that I wanted. It's like a lighter green, more bluish green. Right, but I think it looks very good, even though I'm wearing a green hoodie, and green with green is a cardinal sin. But yeah, I like how it plays, how it sounds. Yes, Aston Martin green. That's perfect. Aston Martin green. That's now I'm going. I'm going to present it as it's like, yeah, this is my Aston Martin green guitar. You guys, you don't know the Aston Martin colors? It's like the Ferrari or Daytona colors, but better. A Sheraton, but never liked the pickups. And yeah, Pitch Collins is saying here that he used to have a Sheraton, but never liked the pickups, and it's a hell of a job to rewire one. And you're sort of stuck. It's like, do I take it to the guy? But if you take it to the guy, might as well do everything. So, like, if you're gonna change the wire, if you're gonna change the pickups, might as well change the wiring, and then it's like, depending on the pickups, it can be, let's say, between 100 and 300 pounds. Overall, plus the cost of the tech to do it, so 400 pounds, and 400 pounds is the cost of a Sheraton. While if the hole was there, do you think there is a business here that I should start off? Make your own port with this handy sawmill. You can go and manually cut it, cut through the holes, and then just drill the holes around and put this port that is already slightly curved to fit the back of your semi-hollow. I think that should be a thing. It could even be like a 3D printed thing. Like, that's an idea. Would scan. I have 3D printing stuff, and I know what I'm doing. But the idea is you scan the guitars, a few of them, because the curvature is the annoying thing. Like, I cut it through off the wood itself because I thought, oh, at least the curvature is going to be smooth, right? And probably there's a better way of doing this because you see I messed it up there and everything. But if you have a port that goes over here, okay, and it is slightly curved, and you just need to remove the material, the wood material where you want to have it. It could even be round, right? It doesn't need to be a squarish or anything, but and then you just do it. It would probably be wouldn't be flush, but it could be the cover. The thing, the difficulty that I have is I don't know what tool would be good to just cut it. Well, there is those like round drill bits, but I feel like that takes a lot of material and will break the fibers around it. Something to look into. A router, but a router will need to start at the middle, right? And then go around. I'm thinking on an already made guitar, it starts breaking. It needs to be very fine and sharp blades, right? I don't know. I'm talking and I don't know enough. I know enough to be dangerous, sort of. Like, I've used the hand router to enlarge, biggen the holes underneath this to fit it, but it wasn't pretty. It isn't pretty. Yeah, some sort of Gaby saying that I would want a jig to follow, so something to do. But yeah, I think that's a way to do it, because I was thinking about this, and you guys might be able to tell me in tell me what you think about this topic. The topic is, I'll get to it. The topic at hand that I'm going to discuss with you is ergonomics. Okay, so electric guitars exist in two planes of existence: sitting down and standing up. So sitting down, it really affects. It really, it's really affected by your position right here, right? So like where your arm is laying. So if you're sitting down, not playing like this because this is just for the camera, but you sort of have this position of putting your arm around, and I like semi-hollows, big semi-hollows, because of that. It reminds me of the acoustics which I grew up playing. So which is very, very different sitting down than playing a normal sized electric. I don't even know what the normal sized electric is in terms of inches or centimeters, but I would say 30 centimeters, 35 centimeters across, right? 42 millimeters thick. So when you're playing it, it's way further down, okay? And this is like a symmetric, not offset guitar. It's similar to a Telecaster, let's call it, right? It's a bit more ergonomic because it has a carve here, so it's like a Strat Tele, right? So you're playing it a bit lower down, the neck is as well a bit lower down, wrist position is slightly different. And then you have the offsets. Let me just take one off the wall. This is the good thing. You have the offsets, right? I'm gonna get to your comment, Gabe, about the Flying V. So an offset sits, same thickness, but because it's slightly longer and everything, arm carve, it sits a bit more closer to what sneeze to what an acoustic or I think plays. It plays very. The offset is really an ideal shape to be sitting down playing. I think that's what the design intended. But when you're standing up, everything changes. So let's address this comment here by Gabe that is saying that flying V's for me are the most ergonomic. Wow. Back when I loved metal, I've had two of them, perfect for sitting and playing in a classical position, so like in between the legs, going like, because that's how I could play it, but I don't want to on the show. It's just like I've had perfect for sitting and playing in the classical position, and nice standing up. Offsets are nice too for the neck sits closer to it. Exactly. This is it. It just sits a bit closer and it's better. I want to say that, like the Telecaster and thing. But when you're standing up, right? Depending on where the strap is, all of this is less relevant. Then it becomes more of like where does the neck touches the body in terms of where you're palm muting and where you're moving. Like a good example again, the SGs, the Firebirds, the Flying V's have different sort of connections. So the offset, this Jazzmaster is on fret 17, so is the other one. But the ES335 is on fret 19. The Shergold is on 17 as well. So it does change where the neck is, and therefore where your hand needs to go in relation to the rest of the body, how you feel. Not so much where your hand sits, probably because of the scale length is always the same, but as you recognize things. And so, for example, I like and having different guitar feels. For example, Gabe is mentioning here that SGs have horrible neck dive, worse for standing off all of them, plus the neck is so far away. I never really played an SG, I've only played it a little bit, and that seems to be the complaint that a lot of people have, also because they're so thin. If you've never actually held an SG or seen one live, like in the flesh, they are very thin guitars, so necks tend to be diving and to go away. So this one is here, right? An SG, it's like further away. It's because the neck joint is closer to here, isn't it? So the body of the guitar, it's like stuff. So this is a kit that I built as well. It was at like 3 P90s originally. It was like a jazz bird sort of thing, and I've transformed it more into more of a like a Noventa, like a P90 offset. But why did I hold this guitar? Because of the yeah, very comfortable to by sitting down. I need to cut this highly annoying. It's here. Perfect. I don't like strings plucking. So this just a quick recap for those of you. This is out of tune. Locking tuners, cheap locking tuners. The kit that came with it's a mahogany neck, rosewood fretboard, bone nut, mahogany body that I painted orange. That's the color. And I did a free thing because I cut a bit here, and I decided to go with free screws. I don't know if I'm going to regret that. And then it has like a specific like Nashville style bridge, and then it's the Squire from the Squire. I upgraded the Squire with a Fender American Vintage Trem vibrato, and then I took that vibrato from here because the one that was in here was worse. It has 4 knobs like a Les Paul, because it was the Les Paul wiring kit that came from a different kit, and it has a like a Strat thing. So it's a different design from that. Freeway, right? But yeah, a guitar that I find like it's gonna turn out alright. I'm quite proud of how it's like a different design. It could be like if I ever become famous, it could be. Then they will have to make for my. Thank you, Gabe. By the way, for the participation. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to myself here, and everyone that's chipping in. Speaking of chipping in and me mispronouncing words, we recorded the second episode of the Astro Dog Band Media podcast with Imogen Evans, like I was talking about last week, and it was very funny. It was very funny. I laughed a bit too much about the towers question, and it's Steve's fault. So. Gabe is mentioning here that he really likes the PRS-SC for comfort, short scale length, and everything is close to you. Which PRS-SC? The 245, or the custom 24, or the custom 22, or the semi-hollow, or the hollow body? Would like to know. He says that he's not very tall, so he prefers stuff closer to him, but I usually play a Strat or Tele now, which it's a love-hate relationship with the 25.5 scale length. Could be. Thank you for the compliment on the build. It was pink, which arguably was a better color probably, but now it's orange. I live in Blackpool. It's tangerine orange, so maybe I'll get like a local brand or something really hyped about around the guitar eventually because it's the color of the football club. Yes, Steve is doing multitasking. He's a busy man and he's going to China, and he's not gonna bring us any gifts. From China, you could bring. If you go to Desai Shoes, bring me some shoes. I love the shoes. Well, my shoes are from China. My boots that I wear every day, and my suit that I bought just the other weekend from Moss Brothers, which is a very well-known brand, right, of clothing, is also from China. Let me see if I can. Oh wow, I can really be up and close with me. No more guitars behind me. Just can see my face. It's a custom 24. That Gabe has. Which color though? Very important question. These are the most important questions that I could ask someone. Is it the Bonnie pink? Is it the Trampus green? Is it the Mateo blue? Is it vintage sunburst? Lemon burst? These are the things that we need to know in order to make a judgment of others. I had a PRS 24 in Trampus green, which I sold. I could say that I regret it. I don't really. No, sorry. I'm confusing. No, Gabe has a PRS-SE. Peter has a PRS Custom 24. Ah, and Gabe doesn't have it. He just spent a bit of time on it because the bassist of my old band had one. Got it. I should read things better, shouldn't I? He said, I really like the PRS-424 PRSSE comfort, short scale length, and everything is close to you. Ah, got it. Yes, and Peter has a custom 24. Trampus green, quilted maple. Ooh, that's a great combination. Was it the roasted maple neck as well? Because I know that they did a roasted maple neck with quilted maple, and that was really sexy guitar. Again, it's you can't have them all, right? I had the Trampus green with flame maple top. I really liked it, but just felt a bit plasticky. I don't know. And then I had the PRS SC 2245 with soap bars, which I really liked, but sitting down, it kept falling down. And it was just a bit shiny. It was just a bit. Would have liked it as well, but I built a Les Paul with in green on the kit, but I'm looking for my phone. It's here, but I couldn't have two green guitars next to each other, and I don't have the space, and it was worth. It was worth giving it away to a good friend of mine, Peter, that has helped me in a lot of things and supported my musical endeavors, and he plays drums with me, but he's actually he was a guitarist before playing drums with me, or I knew he plays guitar and drums basically, and I thought he's gonna give it more use than I do. So I'll show you. Green guitar on my thing. So just try to find it on my phone, which again is great content, but you guys are just hanging around. Nope. This. You could just talk about yourselves. So Gabe says that he's a sucker for green. Such a beautiful call. It is, and it has so many variations. You can go from like Irisa Verde, the PRS green, to Trampus. It's like very vivid to more muted to darker to lighter, and I don't think it's very common. If I had this idea, I will make kit guitars just in green, just green kit guitars. That's what I'm gonna make. And it's gonna be very successful. Like different shapes, Les Pauls and Strats and Tellys, but the common theme is all my guitars are green. I'm just gonna have like a garden of guitars. you come to a shop, it's like, this is the Raphael Jesus guitars. One of his things, this is the forest green one. This is early morning green. So if you think that is an amazing idea that I should really pursue, by all means, let me know, and I'll try to. I have 1% battery, so before it dies, this is how it looked. This is the one that I built. Is it? It is. I was doubting, like, is this a Gibson? No, this is one that I built. It has the Epiphone pickups as well, and the electronics. So yeah, very cool, very nice. Gabe. Yes, the pointy cutaway, right? Which is rare. A lot of times the kits are not with the original Gibson shape. This isn't quite a Gibson shape because I was playing it next to a Gibson and it's not quite the same. But from a distance, and if you don't have a really close reference, it does look very Gibson-like. Ebony boards, mahogany neck, mahogany body. From Coben Guitars is what I got it from. But then tuners, so tuners, I would recommend Geikers, which are like 20 quids. Pickups and electronics, you could get them for like £30 off AliExpress. But then it's the painting and scraping, binding, and setting up a couple of frets if need be, and cutting the nut that it really needs. So it's not financially sensible. It's not like, oh, it's a great way of saving money. It's a way of doing it, and if you go around doing it with stains, which is possible, which this guitar actually had been stained before. Let me just see if I can get it before my iPhone dies. It's also a fun way of doing it, but it's not. It's not this, right? So this is what it was stained. You might even prefer it, really. It was, I think, it was a cool design. You said Gibson. It wasn't quite pointy point. It wasn't like vintage point. It was, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Gibson one is a bit more rounded. Uh, so I had put like a yellow because it's a spalted maple top veneer. So I used the lines of the spalted maple to do green on the edges, on the sides, right? And in the middle have yellow, which it was a cool design, but it was the yellow, the spalted maple was a bit off center, and it was driving me nuts. It was like I was like I want it to be center, but it's impossible because it's a natural occurring phenomenon unless it had been done to do. I like kit guitars. I like the creation and I like looking at them, but I think what's missing from the cycle of kit guitars is the ability to sell them. I think if there was, I've worked with Bolt Guitars UK, which are the guys behind House Point Music band. If you want to go check them out, or the guys that are in the band House Point, two of them, and Sam plays the Telecaster. Could be. It could be they have Bolt Guitars UK, and then I worked with Coben Guitars as well. But I think if it was up to me, I would invest in marketing these kit guitar brands as brands that sell guitars. So they would sell a guitar at a certain price, and then you'd sell the kit cheaper, and then you could have like a builder, like you know how Ferraris used to have in the not Pinarello, Pininfarina, something like that. That like it was a builder, it was a Ferrari built by a different company, so you could have a guitar, say a kit guitar built by Gabe, or a kit guitar built by Raphael, or by Steve, or by Peter, or something like that, and then it's like okay, the brand new they are £500, but built by Gabe it's £400. So you'll never really be stuck with a kit guitar because often kit guitars aren't like the end game. It is just the process of doing them that's enjoyable, but you don't then want to have like a wall full of Tellys and Struts and LPs and SGs and whatnot and PRS shapes. Let me see. Sorry, I had mentioned before that I built a Strat from parts, but I ended up splitting the body all the way through when tapping in the anchor points for the tremolo. Ooh. Well, that's the thing. Like you can get the parts is cool, but the thing is to get the body and the neck that are perfectly married in terms of sizing. If even if they are following Fender licensing measurements, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard because they often don't. So, for example, I would prefer to get a jet guitar and mod it, than to try to go find a nice body and a nice neck, because there's no guarantee that I won't have to be sanding and filing bodies to try to fit, and then it never, and pick guards don't start me on pick guards that they never fit, and I think that's third party in my experience. It's really annoying, and the advantage of a kit guitar usually is that even if you have to make some adjustments, it's at the raw wood stage, which then means you still have to do all the painting and all the lacquering and everything, which maybe some people enjoy it and maybe some people have the space to do nitro, right, which is very fancy, but I don't have the patience, I think. I've done it, but it's not perfect. It's stage guitars. I think kit guitars are great for a stage guitar that you want to have something like I wanted a green 335 with splittable humbuckers. I got it, and locking tuners. If I had to go somewhere else, I'll be paying twice or thrice the price. Gabe is mentioning that the whole neck joint thing is just a myth. The Jet I have doesn't even have the great of neck joint fit, honestly. I had to cut the pickguard to fit Fender pickups in the Jet. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know in terms of the neck joint. I don't know how much it affects sound, to be fair. But for example, the Shergold that I was working on yesterday, or this Orange Beast here, the neck fit here, here on the neck pocket is really tight. So when painting, I had to like scrape the paint back out because it was too tight, really. And then even pickups are different sizes. They like single coils from brand to brand are not all the same size. Maybe the Seymour Duncans are the same as the Fender ones, but I was putting two different sets of Seymour Duncans, and the SSL6 smaller somehow than the plastic covers that I had on the SSL ones, although they were not the original covers. So yeah, so I understand when Paul Reed Smith says that he spent a year building the Silver Sky. He's being honest, because it's easy to do between parts and molding and making sure that everything. Again, another guitar that I would like to try, the Silver. Well, not to try, to own. I've tried it. It feels like a Squire, but it's cool. I feel like most like a Fret King is superior as a guitar, or a Chapman is superior, or a Jet feels superior than the PRSSC Silver Sky. But I like the look and the grapefruit one, the pink one. But then again, if I the SSS alternative, if I wanted an SSS guitar, right, I could get the Jet JS 300, right, or the 380 now, and put pickups like Allegory pickups. Let's open the computer, and I'll show you what I'm on about. So Jet JS 380. And yet, why the 380? Because they do this. Okay, I really like this. The black. They had a similar one, but I like that it has the thing here because it's very much like the Matteo Sasato one and such. And I like the maple neck with the gold hardware and everything. I don't know if it's even locking tuners, which I think they are locking tuners. Probably it's on the description. And I have, so Steve Cassidy probably approved. Yes, that's a very good. That's a very good point. That the Steve is saying that Silver Skies felt like the original Pacificas, and I've had a couple of 112Vs, and yes, if the new Pacificas felt better. Again, Pacificas, another guitar that I think are just ruined by the pickguard design, and they have done the new Pacificas, which are better, but now they're too expensive. So gold, machine heads, gold locking, all that I needed to know. So if we put now a set of Yosemite Stratocaster pickups, how much is that? So bare knuckle is 157. Yosemite Stone Riders is 80, which are very good pickups. I really like them. Tex-Mex is 130. 257, 125. Let's go with there's no Yosemite. Let's go with Tex-Mex. Iron Gear, yes, Iron Gear pickups are also a great alternative. I was thinking originally as Allegory. I'm not buying it, we're just doing an exercise here. Oldtimer pickups, which is like an import line that he has. And he has Oldtimer Shimmer. And they are 17 pounds each. So for the 34, it's less than 60 pounds, right? if you want to. If these ones aren't good, maybe they're already good. They are Alnico 5, so for 350 compared to the PRS SE in the new like PRS SE Silver Sky, the black one is 699. Now compare something here. That JS 380. Okay, so on one hand we have this, on the other one we have this. Can you all see? I can even move my dumb face from to the middle, right? In practical terms, they're very similar sounding. Yes, the JT300s, I don't know if what sort of pickups they are. I don't know if they are ceramic or even if they are nickel, if they are not as good. I don't know. I didn't have the greatest experience with stock. But, right? This is very similar, if not better feeling by Jet, because they have to put a bit more care into the things rather than just relying on John Mayer's name. But, I don't know. Let me get JS in general. Other options. Have Alnico 5. So, yes. Yeah, because you tried them, Steve. Steve actually tried this one, wasn't it? No, was it? No. Which one was it? It was a different one. But it's reflected on the price. They didn't just put like gold hardware on them and call it a day, which I appreciate. There's also the 480. So what's the difference between? It's the one is single coils and the other is cool. So now they have like a single coil premium, because before it was only the 300, which is this. But again, JS 300 gives you the single coils. If you really wanted to be like savvy, you could like you did, but right? We don't care about the hardware is going to be replaced and everything. Maybe already have some hardware lying around. Like I have some hardware that I could put some locking tuners here and maybe a different bridge and stuff like that. This is a 6-point bridge. So yeah, so I already have a bridge. I already have this. I already have electronics. I just want a body and the neck for 160. That's 80 pounds per thing, per body and per neck. And that's probably, there's cheaper ones out there. Or something that I would like to have a look at eventually are these artist ones as well, because I hear good things about them, and now they've done these Shrelic ones with paisley that can be a bit Marmite. So you might, that's the thing, that's like some guitars are like this, the SE, it's an out of the box guitar, isn't it? That's what they keep talking about. It's you get it and you can take it to a gig, which fair enough, and it's a good value, especially now comparatively to the player 2s that are around the same price. I think it's a very fair comparison. And I don't know, Steve, what you think? The Silver Sky versus the new player 2s, the new Fender player 2s, which seem to be better value now with the upgrade that they did compared to the previous experience. Like I like the blue one and the Sienna. Like this would be sort of my dream spec. Although the colors here look absolutely horrible. But that's more comparable to this, to the JS 480 because of the humbucker. The thing that I don't like about the JS 480 is the lack of the input jack in the front, and the humbucker how it is, and the two knobs and everything. Probably if this come with better frets and better pickups and better everything than the 300 or the 400, we're talking about like a 200-pound difference. And it's again a gig ready guitar, isn't it? Yeah, I've not had the best experience. The new ones have rolled fret ends, or so they say. I haven't tried one. So Steve, the great guru here, he says that player 2 beats the Silver Sky SC from me, but Jet is still the smart money. There you go. And now we know. Jet. Jet, 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 Jet. This video has been sponsored by Jet. This is just propaganda. I'm sorry. I've lured you in with false pretenses of a 12 string, and now we're talking about Jet guitars. Yeah. Maybe one day. But then again, no, there's no comparison in terms of price. The Fred King, Fred, it's all more expensive. Or Chapman. So Jet and Chapman, which one? Chapman guitars are different design. I think Jet has nailed the classic. What Fender hasn't been doing. I think Jet has really gone for the Fender market there and taken it, because Fender has been sleeping on the clock, right? In terms of giving the players, they haven't listened much. Isn't it funny? That they keep saying, well, we listen. No, you haven't. We haven't been listening. Because this is what people, that's what I want if I was to get a guitar that looks like this. You want to take a guitar to a gig, you want it to be Fender shaped and everything. This is it. They have, let's see, what are all the colors of the V8? Even the red one, like very classic Hank Marvin, right? Which is a huge inspiration for so many. Or if you, the gold hardware might be a bit Marmite as well. Some people really hate gold hardware, but you could do some Mark Knopfler with it, like this sheer gold. This sheer gold, which I did buy from Absolute Music for $350 with a hard case used, and this is made in Korea. It is made in Korea, but it's a rosewood neck and mahogany body, and unique design by Patrick James Eggle. The locking tuners as well, and everything, and this like proprietary bridge. It's a very unique guitar, but I really like it, and that's why I'm saying I really like it, because I'm not gonna go get a Jet because I already have this, and because I always find that I'm a bit of a player regardless, so might as well just play the something that people don't know, so there's no expectation. That's sort of my sort of escape. Levinson Strats, I don't know, man. I have no idea. I never tried one. I keep seeing them around. The Scepter as well, which is a Levinson brand, but I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, if it's horrible. You have the contacts to make that comparison. So Gabe is saying that he bought the Jet and also bought the equivalent Harley Benton. So it's like the ST62. I had both of me at the same time, and I put them through the test, the Jet one. That's a good way to do it. I sent Harley Benton back. Harley Benton S and T types next are too modern. So it's a D-shaped with a 12-inch radius. Yep. So guitar baseball bat necks, and the pickups had horrible mid-range hump in the EQ. It makes a difference, right? Most people say, oh, there's just tiny differences, and it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you're playing in a song. Yes, but we have to enjoy what we enjoy, and if there are alternatives, it's just like, oh, you can have a Harley Benton for 150, or the next step up is the 700 pounds. No, there are alternatives. The JT, JT. So let me just tune. My kids are, it's midnight. It's midnight and I'm here talking to you. Have I been here? How long have I been here? Can't even play. I'm gonna wake up everyone up. How loud is this? So I put it came with SSL6, which is again are a bit hotter pickups. Let me try to see. Can find. You won't be able to see regardless. I'll need to put this way back and move this out of the way, but it's the guitar that I'm talking about. I put the SSL1 Seymour Duncan pickups that I bought used or not a lot. So so it goes from neck here to bridge, which through the Helix doesn't have a lot of difference, but supposedly. Neck and middle, middle and bridge, bridge split. I don't know if the split is working, but or the I've really been trying to play recently, the which I'm not doing a very good job. I'm aware of the time now. I've seen the time and I'm aware of it. I don't know, I'm still showing the screen, right? It's a bit random. Okay, it's midnight. It's time for bed, everyone. I put my hat on to say good night. Thank you, Gabe. I don't think. Let me just check. I don't think we've met before, have we? I don't think you are. You the Gabe that I know? Probably not. No, different Gabe. But very nice. I think I've seen your channel before from somewhere else because I have I opened it and there is a GTA 5 overtake compilation that is showing as watched. So thank you for keeping me company and for giving me good advice and feedback on the sound. Thank you, Steve, as always. I'm gonna miss you dearly when you go to China because I won't have a person to ask questions about both music theory and everyone. Thank you, Peter, for sticking around. The hat will say goodbye as well. This hat is not new. I've had it for a while. Just don't use it because it's ridiculous. I look like a, hey guys, so have a good night, everyone. I'm going to be entrepreneuring in the morning when I wake up at 5 a.m. and I go to the gym and do my cold ice bath. And then I take a bit of a sauna and then I do my emails and then I read some self-help meditating stuff that I'm also writing, and therefore good night, everyone. Okay, so that was enough of that. Peter was still around. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Okay, now for sure I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. Thank you. Good night. Take care.